What is the primary responsibility of the external auditor? Well, as soon as I see this question, I start to think about the key elements of an external auditor's responsibilities. The responsibility is to provide an independent opinion. They provide an opinion on the truth and fairness of the financial statements of an organisation. And they have a responsibility to report to shareholders. So with that in mind, let's look at the options. The first one, to report all financial irregularities to the shareholders of the client. Well, that is not the primary responsibility of the external auditor, and actually it's not the responsibility because of that word all. If an auditor finds a $1 irregularity, they're not going to report that to the shareholders. So that option is not correct. The second one I can rule out in a very similar way. To verify all the financial transactions and support and documentation of the client. Well, that's just impractical and impossible, realistically, for any large client. An auditor will verify transactions to ensure that the financial statements are true and fair, but they won't verify everything. The third one, to ensure that the client's financial statements are reasonably accurate and free from bias. Well, that's pretty close to the points that I've made. Free from bias, a little bit of independence, accurate and free from bias. Well, I think that's reasonably equivalent to true and fair. We're not saying that they are absolutely accurate, but they are reasonably accurate. So far, that's the best option, but let's just look at the fourth one. To ensure that all the client's financial statements are prepared and submitted to the relevant authorities on time. Well, first of all, I don't like that word all, but secondly, it's not the auditor's primary responsibility to do this. It would be the management who are responsible to ensure financial statements are prepared and submitted. So although the third statement is not exactly the same as how I described the primary responsibility of the external auditor, it is undoubtedly the closest and the best option.